Hi. So I joined Ludum Dare. So for this dare, it's been a minute. I really want to do something big and kind of fun, or not like big and fun, but something like kind of impressive, I guess, this time. And I was gonna have fun doing this crazy, like, endless shooter idea, because the theme was delay the inevitable, right? Yeah, that didn't happen. So yeah, kind of started that project and then immediately fell apart. The second day, I just literally sat in bed all day and didn't do anything. So I had 12 hours. I ended up with 12 hours to actually make a video game, which was not ideal, but that's the only, like, what are you gonna do? Luckily, I had a backlog of Trello stuff I kind of made before the jam, so I'm just gonna pick another idea out of the bucket in there. So we ended up doing a Tamagotchi style game where your pet will inevitably die because taking care of it will get harder and harder each day because you have to play a bunch of mini games. So that was fun. Alright, so the first thing I had to do was go make the mini games. Really, it wasn't anything too crazy. I just made a basic script that all the other mini games could inherit from to make my life easier. It wasn't anything crazy, just some simple stuff like start, stop, update, just basic stuff all the mini games needed. So after that, started inheriting and making a bunch of various mini games based off of those, so that was cool. Stuff for like bathing, sleeping, partying, feeding, all that junk, Tamagotchi style stuff. I prototyped all the games in the console because one, I'm lazy, and two, I had literally 12 hours, so I didn't really have that much time. So yeah, just make sure they're all worked. I put them in the console with console.writeline. After that, though, I kind of hooked up a quick UI script for all of them, just so I can, actually show what I'm doing on screen, so that wasn't too bad. After that, I kind of made a game manager thing, just kind of, hook all of the stuff into that and make it all work. It just handled randomly choosing a mini game, handled like a day system where that's like how your score was determined, and just kind of, was the thing that made the game do game thing, so yeah. Alright, for this project I had a really fun idea where I wanted to give the player a physical, like, Tamagotchi, game that you can kind of play around with, so I kind of did this by, like, getting a render texture and an extra camera, and just kind of slapping that on there, so I have, like, a physical screen that you can look around and stuff. Kind of just slap that on a cube and then added, like, a freelook cam so you can kind of turn it around and look around and stuff. Just had to go run into Blender and actually make the model. Egg. 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 So for the actual model, I kind of just made an egg, or I just kind of slapped it together real quick. It didn't go perfectly. I had some normal issues, but that's because I'm bad at Blender, and honestly, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what I did wrong, so I'm just gonna go with it. I didn't have the time, running out of time. Okay, moving on. So at this point, I slapped in the egg, slapped in some shaders to actually make everything look pretty and nice and everything, and well, by this time, after I had everything connected and hooked up, was really low on time. So low on time, actually, that one of the big ideas I was going to do, which was a leaderboard so everyone could share their high scores, didn't have time to do that. But, as much as that sucked, it didn't suck as much as the game actually having major problems. See, the issue was, I was having problems with feedback. Because all of these minigames were WarioWare style and were key-based, you really needed to know what key you pressed and what key you needed to press and when, and, well, that didn't work out so good. That was just having problems. It wasn't really obvious or visible. I didn't really have time to fix it. Worse, there was just bugs with UI in general where it wasn't working properly. So, yeah, I just fixed as much as I could and threw it all together. So here I am rushing to put this game on itch, and I had an hour to do it, by the way, and everything went wrong. The builds failed, it just wouldn't run on WebGL. I accidentally uploaded one with the thumbnail, or stuff I left in for the thumbnail. It was terrible. Literally wasted most of the hour. I was almost late for the actual jam. And even then there were still bugs, but I didn't have time to fix it, and the only time I figured out there were bugs is when it was actually put on the website. So yeah, great. Alright, so I put it on itch, and then I put it on the Ludum Dare website and submitted. And then I waited and just went to sleep and gave up because I was tired and I just needed to just go to sleep. So I woke up the next day, and went and checked my post and the blog post I made about it on the Loot Dare website, and surprisingly enough, people seem to actually kind of enjoy it, even though it's a terrible, horrible, buggy mess. But oh my god, it was so fun to see people genuinely kind of enjoy the idea, and I was really happy to see it, to be honest. So it was honestly totally worth it. I think in the end, I actually got a pretty decent score for like one of my first real games on Loot and Dare, even though I've done them before. But honestly, this is all, as much as I struggled and kind of messed up, it was totally worth it. At some point, I think I'm gonna go and fix all the problems I actually had with it and make another video on that. But I don't know for sure, so I don't quote me on that. But yeah, I don't know. It was honestly really fun. Kind of not what I expected. I just really excited about that. So that was my Ludum Dare experience. I hope if you did it, you had a better time than I did. And yeah, so I hope you have a good rest of your day or night or whatever time it is. So yeah, see ya. Eight. So dumb.